Hey guys, it's been a while. Oh my goodness, I am so late in getting this put together. Oh my gosh, I do have some legitimate excuses though. One of them was my car broke down. Yeah, that was fun. I was out of commission for 2 weeks, which you'd think that would be a good time for me to film video, but it just doesn't feel right, you know? It's got to be like in the middle of me actually doing the work, which I'm doing today. I'm right at the end of my shift. So yeah, car was down for 2 weeks, cost me a lot of money. It was not fun. So I didn't film at that time. And then shortly after that, the Uber app started misbehaving. I don't know what that's about, but from this point on, it is not allowing me to run the app in the background. If it runs in the background, it drops the location tracking and it eventually logs me off altogether. So, very aggravated about that. That's really how I was able to film. It was while I was waiting on a trip, on a slow day. So, I haven't been able to film for 2 pretty good reasons. But, hey, I'm back. And as a wise man once said, if you're going to start a YouTube channel, you should probably crank out your first 35 videos as fast as possible. Yeah, working on that, not doing as well as I thought, but it'll work out. So gosh, mostly I'm just disappointed that as time has passed, I've actually forgotten a lot of the really cool and funny stories of things that have happened as I've been driving. So I hope that I'm able to remember some of them in order to tell you, because that is after all what this channel is all about. Quick update before I do that, actually 2 updates. First one is I just passed 2,700 rides. So that means that I should be right on course for achieving my 3,000 trips by the end of the year, thereby qualifying for free tuition through ASU. So super excited. Just wanted to let you know about that. And then the other thing is I was having a lot of trouble with my dash camera, and I eventually just had to chuck it in the garbage, and I now have a new dash camera, so hopefully we'll get to see some of that footage with this video, and I hope that you like the improvement. Alright, so funny stories. First of all, you'll know that I have been working on my music, putting music in my car and seeing how that goes, and I think at the time that this happened, this was while I was still playing some Studio Ghibli music, although it doesn't particularly matter to the story. So I picked up these 2 guys at 6 a.m. and, one person's early in the morning is another person's late at night. So this was one of those trips. I think they were both a little bit inebriated, one more than the other. And so I have this piano music playing, right? It's soundtrack music. And this guy was like, bro, all this music, I'm really loving this music. And he was in another world. Like, he was embarrassing his friend so much. His friend was like, shut up. But he was just going on and on about this music. He's like, bro, I don't want to stress you out or anything, but I'm just loving this music. Oh my gosh, it was so funny. So I finally got to drop them off. They had a great time. And to tie that to today, another really funny music incident. I picked up this girl and her boyfriend, and she's pretty much high as a kite. She's having a great time, super nice. But she keeps telling me, you could turn the music up if you want. And I'd get another mile down the road, and she's like, you can really turn it up. And get another mile down the road, and she's like, you can turn it up some more. I really love music. So by the time we got to her apartment, the sides of the car were just vibrating. It was so loud. But it was also great because I was getting to play some music that I really love at full volume, which I never get to do. No one asks me to do that. And it's amazing how much better music sounds when you play it at full volume. You get all of the subtleties in the music, and I really miss that. So it actually turned out to be a really great trip. I owe her one. Well, as you can see from outside, it's looking pretty wintry out there. Yeah, I've been driving Uber for an entire year officially, so I wanted to talk about that real quick in case anybody was interested. If they were wondering if they could get the 3,000 trips, if I had been working Uber as steadily as I am right now, like at this pace, I definitely could have completed the 3,000 trips by now and done it in a year. I started last November, so this is going to be a little bit more than a year. But like I said, I was really only driving part-time when I started, so if you were interested, yes, it is very doable. I suppose it depends on where you live. Around here, the trips are pretty short because it's all downtown. Usually students going from one campus to another, or maybe nurses going from their apartment to the hospital. But yeah, it's very doable. I'm very excited to see where that goes. And to talk a little bit about the finances before I go on, being down for 2 weeks with a broke down car is probably an Uber driver's worst nightmare. And I just wanted to talk about it real quick to kind of describe what it's like. It wasn't as bad as you would think it would be, and that's because, think about it, when you're driving, especially when gas prices were high, like up to half of what you make goes directly back into the car as fuel. So if you're down for 2 weeks, yes, you're losing a lot of income, but you're also not paying out all of that money in gas, so you're actually saving money by not driving. And then of course there's taxes. You're not paying any taxes on that either, so it didn't cost as much as I thought. It was very frustrating, and I felt like I really needed to step on it as far as getting another source of income coming in. So I'll be working on that in the upcoming months. I'll keep you updated on that because I'm pretty excited about it. But on the whole, normally I don't think most car repairs would take 2 weeks anyway. At least I hope not. But yeah, it was not as bad as I thought financially. I actually got to talk with a Lyft driver. That's probably pretty ironic, isn't it? I'm an Uber driver and I'm driving a Lyft driver. Well, I guess, his car was in the shop, usual sort of thing. And because he's mad at Lyft, he decided to take an Uber instead, which I thought was hilarious. And of course, I took advantage of this opportunity to ask him all sorts of questions about Lyft, what's going on over there. Didn't really get a lot of information, but just kind of established that this year is a little bit harder for driving, just because I think COVID kind of scared a lot of drivers off last year, and this year I'm noticing a lot more drivers, and possibly economic reasons as well, where people are realizing that Uber driving is actually quite good, quite profitable, and a lot better than their other jobs. But it was really cool to talk with him and sort of like share the common driving experiences that anybody from Uber driving or Lyft driving is going to experience around Morgantown. So that was super cool. He was really nice about the whole thing, and yeah, I just thought that was pretty cool. Alright, well, I am going to go and check my brand new dash cam to see what kind of footage we've got for this episode. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you again next week. Alright, so here's my very first footage from my new camera. As you can see, the clarity is much better, the angle is much wider, which makes it very exciting. So we're going to enjoy this little trip down to campus, and just going to talk a little bit about the season, really. As you can see, there's a little dusting of snow out on this particular day. Not very much. We've had some crazy weather this year. Absolutely crazy winter. We'll have 60-degree days, and then we had that cold spell, went down to -2 degrees. It has been crazy. Everyone is complaining that the weather just won't make up its mind. I mean, I can take 60-degree weather all winter long. I'm not complaining, but, it kind of would have been nice to have a real winter, per se, just seeing the pretty white snow on the ground for a while, but I don't think we're going to get that this year. And, some of the students, this is, a faraway place for them, and for some of them, this is not the kind of weather that they're used to. I had a passenger who I've picked up several times, not really had a conversation with him. English is not his first language, but the one thing that he did say, it was so sweet. He said, on the first day that we got snow in West Virginia, he said, "This is my first snow." I was like, oh my gosh. I mean, it wasn't more than a dusting. We wouldn't even count it as snow. But for him, apparently wherever he's from, I got the impression this was his very first snow. So I felt very excited for him. At the opposite end of the spectrum, I think this might have even been in the same day, I picked up another passenger. He too was not originally from America. He was actually Canadian. And he pretty much agreed with me. He was like, "This is not even snow. I mean, not even close to being snow." So just funny how the different experiences are of people coming to Morgantown. We were driving in an area very similar to this, actually, just a couple streets above, where you have kind of a nice view of the valley and the river. And he was just kind of saying, like, "Oh, look how beautiful it is." And it's like, well, I never really saw it that way, but you're right, it is kind of beautiful, looking out there. So yeah, kind of some nice experiences this winter. The weather's not been too bad, and yeah, hopefully we'll just transition straight to spring. Well, here's hoping anyway.